Good morning students and welcome back. Today we shall continue learning history. Lesson number 3, Applied History. In the previous lecture, we have studied what is applied history and how research in various fields proved to be valuable, that is applicable today. We have studied philosophy, science, technology, industry and commerce, management studies. Remaining two fields, that is arts and humanities, we shall learn today. So let's start first with the arts. There are different types of arts like drawing, sculpture, music, dance, etc. So it is necessary to study the style of artist. For example, painter draws nature or portrait human picture or any color combination he uses. So it is necessary to study the style of expressions of painter, his intelligence, his emotions and cultural tradition of painting form. The key to the expressions in any art form, emotional temperament. Emotional temperament means emotional mindset of the artist and the developmental history of the respective art form can be understood with the help of cultural history. So, if we want to study any art form, then we also need to know how that art evolves. For example, ancient painting of Bhimbetka was only simple sketch work. Then slowly painting was done using colors. And now at modern time, modern paintings are based on theme, freehand paintings, etc. So evolution of painting took place from ancient time and this can be understood with the help of cultural history. Now the last research is humanities. Humanities means social science. Humanities include subjects like history, archaeology. Archaeology means study of past or of past remains. Anthropology, it means study of human relation in society or study of human origin or study of origin of life. Sociology, that means study of society. Political science, that is study of politics. And economics is the study of production, distribution, consumption of goods and supply of money. So, we should learn how all these subjects origin. And it is said that all these subjects have their origin in philosophy. Earlier, people used to believe that everything happens is because of divine creation, that is God. But some philosophers started thinking and did research to understand the relationship between the universe and human existence. So, this is how origin of subjects like history, sociology, anthropology, economics, etc. developed. Philosophers also understood that the origin of the world, universe, human life, God, goddesses, rituals, all these were discussed in mythological stories. And roots of philosophical explanation are found in these mythological stories. So if we wanted to know origin of these subjects, then one has to learn about its past to understand the developmental stages. Now, next we shall learn applied history and our present. We have already learned that some people ask about the value of learning history. That is, people say there is no career in learning history and there is no source of earning money. But all these questions had its answer in applied history. That is, we are applying history in present. The visible and invisible relics of the past exist in the present. That is, what we have seen and not seen, but our past exists in the present. That means it is important to know our past. It is our curiosity and attraction to know about the past. That is, how people's lifestyle was earlier and what changes took place now. So when we learn history, we come to know the thoughts and traditions of our ancestors. It is our heritage. Heritage means what we got from ancestors. And the history of our heritage links us with our origin. And so it becomes necessary to preserve and conserve those heritage for future, for our benefit, and for future generation. So it will be preserved in museums, archives, or monuments. And so heritage management creates opportunities of employment in present. In brief, applied history can be described as understanding of our present with the help of history and finding right direction for the benefit of our future. Now let's learn management of cultural and natural heritage. Heritage is of two types: cultural heritage and natural heritage. Cultural heritage is in form of human creation. That means man-made heritage. Cultural heritage is of two types: tangible cultural heritage and intangible cultural heritage. Tangible cultural heritage are in form of materials, what we can see. It includes sites, buildings, artifacts, manuscripts, sculptures, paintings, etc. Intangible cultural heritage are in oral form. So, intangible cultural heritage includes oral traditions and their language, that is, chanting of Vedas or Sanskrit language. Traditional knowledge, that is, cultural stories, folk stories. Social customs. It is said that fasting is custom in every religion. Rituals of celebrating festivals. During Diwali, people light the lamp. So lighting of lamp is a ritual. Styles of performing art, that is dance, singing song, theatre act. Traditional skills. For example, traditional way of weaving Banarsi sari. Then communities, groups who represent such traditions, customs and skills are all intangible cultural heritage. Natural heritage is in form of nature, that is, what we get by nature, that is natural. So natural heritage includes fauna. Fauna means wildlife animals that are of different species. Second is flora. Flora means plants, varieties of plants. Third is ecology and geomorphic. Ecology means biology that deals with the study of living things. And geomorphic means natural features of Earth's surface, that is, mountains, plateaus, or barcans in the desert. It is essential for the benefit of future generations to preserve our heritage. So UNESCO, the global organization, UNESCO's full form is United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. So UNESCO has announced some directives, that is, given some guidelines with the objective of promoting the cultural and natural heritage. On the basis of those directives, list of sites and traditions are declared as World Heritage. The list of UNESCO's World Natural Heritage now includes Western Ghats. The Khas Plateau in the district Satara is also a part of the Western Ghats. Prepare page number 18 thoroughly for objectives. Anything can be asked. Identify the wrong pair or for the web. Recently in this board exam, one question for the web was asked, World Natural Heritage Sites. It is in 3 parts. The Indian tradition declared as oral and intangible heritage. Second one, World Cultural Heritage Sites of India. And the third one, World Natural Heritage Sites. Cultural and natural heritage management is one of the main aspects of applied history. That is, how to manage and preserve our heritage. For example, archives to preserve olden original written document and museums to preserve artifacts. So it provides lots of employment opportunities also. Archaeological Survey of India, India's State Department of Archaeology, and INTAC, that is Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage. These are all government organizations who looks after the management of monuments, forts, etc. It takes care of cultural heritage of India, and because of its perseverance, we come to know about the past. For example, architecture of various monuments. We have trained engineer and architects now, but in olden time, how it was constructed in stones, masonry blocks, that is, it looks like brick walls. The techniques adopted by our ancestors are extremely iconic. So, to preserve our cultural and natural heritage, we need experts from various fields. We have already learned in the first lesson about various experts needed to do the research on history. They need to be duly aware of the cultural, social, and political histories of the heritage sites. Let's see the various principles of applied history that are useful to create awareness among people. The first one is the operations necessary for the conservation, preservation, and development of the heritage site can be handled without causing any change in its original state. For example, if any monument's or fort's wall part is spoiled, then we should construct it, but while making that, we should not hurt the original structure. That is, we should not lose the originality of the wall and should repair the spoiled part only. Its originality has to be maintained. Second point is the local social structure and psychology of the local people, challenges faced by them in the present situations, and their expectations can be surveyed in detail. That means to understand the psychology of the local people is important, and to know about the local social issues, present situations, and what are the expectations of the people, survey, that is study, should be done. Third point is due precautions can be taken to avoid hurting sentiments of the local people while completing the projects of conservation, preservation, and development of a heritage site. If you take example of Western Ghats, UNESCO has already declared Western Ghats as a World Natural Heritage Site. So if we are preserving the heritage, then we should not hurt the sentiments of the local people and try to develop good relations with the local people. Fourth point is participation of the local people in the project can be facilitated. To preserve the heritage, more local people should be given the responsibility to take care of the project of preservance. Fifth point is systematic plan can be designed to employ the local skills in a creative way and create better opportunities of livelihood. That means planning should be done in such a way that more local people should be employed to look after their livelihood. That is, local people can be guide and caretaker. Now next we shall learn affiliated professional fields, that is, officially connected professions in history. The first one is museums and archives. In museums and archives, we need caretaker to maintain and to preserve the artifacts in museums and original written documents in archives. Second one is preservation and conservation of historical site. There are many people employed to preserve historical sites. Third one is tourism and hospitality. At heritage place, more tourists visit, and hospitality means services. That is, hotels, food, etc. should be provided. Fourth one is entertainment and mass media. For example, to advertise the tourism places on mass media, you must have seen the advertisements of Gujarat tourism, Kerala tourism, Rajasthan tourism. So all these ads are put up on social media. Entertainment means many films or serials are made on history. So many people are getting employed in making films or serials. Now let's see, do you know? The earliest museum, that is of 6th century BCE, in the world was discovered during the excavations at the city of Ur in Mesopotamia. The excavations were conducted by Sir Leonard Woolley during the period of 1922 to 1934. This museum was built by the Princess of Mesopotamia. Her name was Enigaldi. She herself was the curator of the museum. Curator means caretaker. A noteworthy feature of the museum is the clay tablet inscribed with the descriptions of exhibited artifacts. A clay tablet is a flat surface made of clay. Symbols or scripts were pressed into the soft clay. Then it was baked by keeping it out in the sun or in fire until it's got dry and hard. Stone was very hard and difficult to do the inscription. So a flat surface of clay was made to press the symbols or script, and that was called clay tablet. Now let's see, do you know? Indian Museum, Kolkata. The Indian Museum at Kolkata was founded by the Asiatic Society in 1814 Common Era. Nathaniel Wallich, a Danish botanist, was the founder and the first curator of the museum. The photograph of the museum seen here is dated to 1905. That means this photo was taken in the year 1905. The museum has three main departments: arts, archaeology, and anthropology. Rather than these departments, there are more other affiliated departments. Those are conservation, publication, photography, exhibition presentation, model making. Model making means the replicas of Taj Mahal, training, library, and security. Now let's see, it is interesting to know. Archives means to preserve and store old documents, official records, old films, etc. The National Archives of India is in Delhi. Every state in India maintains its archives independently. That means every state has its own state archives. The main office of the National Film Archives of India is located in Pune, that is in Maharashtra. It was established in 1964 as the media unit of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting of the Indian government. It served in three objectives. The first point is to search and obtain rare Indian films and to preserve the heritage for the benefit of future generations. That means old films or any documentary films recordings are kept in archive and preserved it. So broadcast unit people search and collect it and keep it in archive. For example, if any common man has kept the very old recordings, then broadcast unit goes and collect from them and preserve it in National Film Archive. So broadcast unit always keeps searching and obtain and preserve it so that future generation can also see or hear that recording for their benefit. Second point is to categorize the important aspects of films, to create documentation and catalogs, and carry out research in the field. For example, in library, books are arranged subject-wise. If you want storybook, you will go to the particular section where storybooks are kept. So, all the books in the library are categorized and kept. Similarly, the film records are also categorized. For example, it is based on historical knowledge, that is historical films recording, or documentary films recording, documentary films that is on the real life film. So all will be categorized and kept so that if anyone wanted to go through the recordings, then it will be easy to get it. Third point is to establish a center for dissemination of film culture. Dissemination means to spread. The main intention of preserving the record is to spread the film culture. For example, if anyone wanted to do the film, then that person can get all information in Film Culture Center. He will study all the details of how first film was made. It was only moving pictures without audio. That was called silent movies were made earlier, etc. All such details will be studied from Film Culture Center. Every field mentioned requires expert. For example, architects, engineers, historians, archaeologists, museums curators, sociologists, archive management professionals, legal experts, skilled photographers, etc. These experts need to have adequate knowledge of the ancient sites, the historical background of the structural remains and artifacts. Projects in the field of history can create various opportunities for these professionals. In this lesson, we have learned about the role of applied history in public training programs for understanding the importance of history, for creating social awareness regarding the conservation, preservation of a cultural and natural heritage. We have also learned how we are applying history in our present and for bright future. It also enhances many professions involved in history. So I hope most of your questions regarding learning history is cleared now, and you must have understood how important it is to know about the past. As we always say, we learn from past experiences. It is same with the learning of history. We learn many things from the history, and whatever is in present now, its origin or it began from the past only. So students, goodbye and take care.